Okay, we have the REVVL 5G. My son is switching from the Samsung A71 to the REVVL 5G. I only buy him phones with funky backs, right? When we got this phone, we thought it was kind of cool, but this phone is a lot cooler. I mean, the phone's still good, but if we're going on simply back aesthetics, this one's the coolest. All right, so here is our SIM card. It kind of blended in the table there. The phone's powered off. SIM card is on the left-hand side. It does have a micro SD card slot, but we're not using one. I find if a phone is 128 gigs, I really don't need a micro SD card anymore. I still like the option to have them. I don't want to get rid of them, but since phones started hitting that size, I haven't been using them that much. All right, so slots right in there. Power this bad boy on. Now we gotta run some speed tests. In a separate video, I'll show these cases. This is the OtterBox, and this is the Go-To. OtterBox Computer Lite, the 5G variant. I mean, the box doesn't affect the 5G speed, but there may be a different size if it's not the 5G variant. And that clear one's just this Go-To, which I never heard of before. All right, so I turned off the wireless. So let's say in 5G. I do like the dark screen mode, but I think on the camera it's gonna be easier to see. So I'm going to change it to white. Also, I erased this phone to reinstall it for my son, because I originally was going to try it for myself, but then he said he wanted to use it. So in case you forget, you can uninstall this dumb shit. It's McAfee. Like, you don't want that. So uninstall that. And it comes right off. So we're going to install the speed test Ookla app and the fast.com speed test powered by Netflix. So it does say 5G up here. I've seen other 5G phones that will always say 5G. However, this one I've seen this one drop to where it doesn't show 5G, whereas my Note pretty much always says 5G. We're in the basement of my house in Louisville, Kentucky, so here it says 5G. Let's go test for test. So not stellar speeds from the $1,400 Note 5G. Alright, so you can see where here it says LTE. So let's run a test. This will change and say the 5G icon if it's actually on 5G. So, not stellar speeds. It's not disappointing speeds necessarily, but it's not mind-blowing speeds. So now we're going to test my Note. It's also shown LTE, but you can see if you look at results, it will show 5G. Like here, I got 129. That was a different part of town. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville does have 5G, but I'm in the basement of my house. The basement of my house doesn't necessarily have 5G, even though sometimes I do hit 5G speeds. 5G connections here. But you can see the speed varies all over the place. But it's about on par between these two. All right, so we got a worse score this time. Let's hop back to fast. Test that guy again. All right, so let's test another one here. Much better this time around. Still showing LTE though. So this is my son's previous phone, the A71, and that's the same SIM card in here that was previously in this one. So you can see he previously got 5G here, 57, 53, 50. So again, not mind-blowing speeds here by any means. Now let's go back here and test. But T-Mobile, their 5G isn't necessarily meant to blow the doors off like the Verizon commercials. It's meant to be more consistent and a stronger connection. Alright, so now I'll put this in the OtterBox, which is the heaviest case you're going to find for this bad boy. Still on 5G. We're going to run a test to see if it makes any difference for the score. It shouldn't, but you can just check that to be sure. It's actually kind of improving the score. Maybe OtterBox makes your phone run faster. That should be their slogan. So we're getting consistent scores. It's on LTE every time here. But again, so is this one. I'm going to put it in airplane mode for a second. Let it kill the connection. And then take it out of airplane mode. See if that makes any difference. So now we're back on a 5G, maybe a different tower. And we'll run this test. So still LTE, still around that 45 range, which is, not bad. Alright, so today is what? September 15th. And I'm going, oh, that's the best test we've had yet. So still LTE though. So Today, September 15th. This is the first recording we're going to do. As I go about, we'll try to make some more tests on this phone. Of course, this is my son's phone, and he won't be out and about as much as I, and neither one of us are out and about very much because we're still, coronavirusing up, so we don't really go very many places. I've been recording my note at various locations, testing speeds in different areas, but I don't know how often we'll get this phone out. But we will try to test it some more. This is just kind of a first glimpse. Still LTE. And just for one last test that really doesn't prove anything. And now I'll put them back on Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi router is over this way. It's the Google Wi-Fi Spectrum service, but Google Wi-Fi router, which I don't like that much. I like the app a lot, but not the device. I don't think the signals are very strong. So let's test the Wi-Fi speeds. It's a pretty good 4G speed. So again, I should be getting, the Google Wi-Fi is not capable of it. My internet speed should be 950 down and 35 up. Google will max out around 400, but you can see I'm not getting anywhere near that. So let's try this guy on the Wi-Fi. So you can see here it's on Spectrum. Now we're back on the Wi-Fi. Let's go. Well, that's substantially better. So this phone's a TCL phone. I've never had a TCL phone. Motorola phones were known to have really good antennas. So I don't know if TCL is the same thing or not. I mean, I know it's not the same as Motorola, but I don't know if they're known to have good antennas or not. But that's the best score. We're on the same Wi-Fi. I test them all at once. It's not recommended. People always leave me comments about how I shouldn't test like that, but... So of this rudimentary, very non-scientific test, the best Wi-Fi test was this guy. This is the REVVL. We previously had the REVVL Plus, and that was an excellent phone. That was a Motorola based, whereas this is a TCL based, but I have high hopes for this phone. What little I played with it, I do like it a lot. So you see it's still getting better speeds than the other one, so that's a good showing. Alright, so I'm going to stop it here. We'll try to do some more tests. I don't know how many we'll get, but... I'll update this in like a week or so. Probably be the same video, but we'll update it all into one shebang. Alright, we got out a little bit. We got some haircuts. Alright, so this is the REVVL in the honor box. We'll run a test here. We're still in the city of Louisville. We're about, 10 minutes, 15 minutes from the house, but we're in a different area. So you can see we're getting a pretty good, and it is showing 5G here. So we're looking at, 80, that's pretty solid. 83. So that's a pretty good speed. Alright, so that's not a bad test. Alright, we might. So again, it's Thursday, 17th. That's my Pioneer. Alright, well maybe we'll get some more tests in here. Alright, we're in the Volvo. We're going to do a speed test on this is the A71. We're in another part of town. And it says 5G. Air conditioner's going to be loud, but it's hot as shit. So you're just going to deal with that sound. 51. Pretty good. We'll take it. Also, Mercedes in the back. Alright, 51 down and 4.49 up. Alright, so here is it's October 9th, Friday. We've had this for a while. I think my son likes it pretty good. We're back in the house. Wi-Fi is off. We're on just 5G. So let's do a speed test. We'll run that speed test there, and let me run one on mine. This is my Note 20. See, we're both just getting LTE here. So we're in the basement of my house in Louisville, Kentucky. These are fine speeds. I think in the video that I've already recorded, you can see where I've had better speeds. Alright, let's do one more shot. So it still is testing better than the $1,400 Note. Alright, so pretty good there. I mean, same speeds, we're on LTE. But if you look at the history of the results, you can see we got a 5G test on September 28th for 83, September 19th, 51, 88 on September 17th. LTE speeds there. So, you know, it comes and goes. So again, we're not getting fast speeds in the basement of my house, but it's okay. Alright, yeah, so nothing major here. I'm just showing the speed tests are pretty consistent in my house. Overall, I think we're pretty happy with the phone, certainly for the price. I think this is a strong option, so I do recommend it for that case. I have another video on the cases, of course. Here's the OtterBox, just held up pretty well. I think that's just a smudge. Maybe he's already dropped it, who knows. The OtterBox to go is what we come with for cases. It covers up that gorgeous back, but it does keep the phone protected. Alright, thanks for checking me out. Feel free to leave me any kind of questions. Let me know if you need us to test something or you want to see more videos on this particular device. Alright, thanks.